Yo, what up, everybody? This is your boy Big J Britt, Jimmy Britt, and the JTC is on the move. Well, this is supposed to come to you live on Facebook, but apparently I can only do that on my phone right now. I can't do it on the computer. The phone's only this big, so I don't really feel like talking into the phone sitting at the computer, so I'm going to have to record this. I was hoping to interact with y'all, but hopefully Facebook could get that figured out and we could do that soon. Anyway, we're going to talk about NCAA Final Four. If for some reason you don't know, Final Four pit two number 2 seeds together, the Villanova Wildcats and the Oklahoma Sooners. And the other game will be the number 1 seed North Carolina Tar Heels and Syracuse Orange. Syracuse is the only team that's not a 1 or a 2 seed. They are a 10 seed that is left. They knocked off the number 1 seed Virginia in a game. I don't know if you got to see it or not, but Virginia absolutely collapsed in the last 5 minutes, 6 minutes of that game. I was watching it in disbelief. I mean, fundamentals weren't being done. If you want to show your kids, your teens, video of the importance of not getting away from the fundamentals, not going too quick, that's the game. The final 6 minutes of the Virginia-Syracuse Elite 8 game 2016 is the game to show them, because Virginia absolutely lost their way. I mean, they weren't passing the ball properly. They weren't driving the lane properly. They were making bad, just decisions, just horrible decisions. They were winning that game by double digits, not but a minute or so earlier, and they just collapsed and let Syracuse right into that game. And then Syracuse ended up winning. The Villanova Wildcats finally got the monkey off their back. They have not been in a Final Four in a long time. We know last year they were one of the favorites and got knocked off in the second round. They haven't made it out of the Sweet 16 in many, many moons. So now they find themselves in the Final Four, and they go up against the Oklahoma Sooners and Mr. Buddy Hield, who is absolutely killing it. He was literally a one-man wrecking crew when they beat Oregon. That's Oklahoma when they beat Oregon. Buddy Hield had 37 points on 13 of 20 shooting. 37 points for a college kid is ridiculous. 37 points out of 80. So he was 3 points shy of half. That means the rest of the team scored 43. Buddy Hield had 37. The rest of the team had 43. The rest of the team, everybody else, only scored 6 more points than Buddy Hield. So Villanova, cover that guy. It's as simple as that. Now, obviously, it's not as simple as that because the man is half man, half Mason. A little bit there for you guys that maybe follow a little bit of AN1. Obviously, that's not who that is, but, I digress. But, yeah, that's Villanova knocked off Kansas in the Elite 8, who, if you don't know, was the overall number 1 seed out of all the teams. We all know it should have been Michigan State, but maybe the people who make these brackets are just a little bit smarter than we are, because I know me and probably 80% of the people that are going to see this and 80% of America picked Michigan State to win the whole bracket, let alone win the first round. So, but again, obviously them guys know a little bit more than we do. They made them a number 2 seed. Maybe if they were the number, I mean, you could sit there and what if. They didn't make it. But Kansas was listed as the number 1 seed overall. So, basically, what we're saying is Villanova just beat the best team in the tournament. Okay? And once Michigan State lost, that was Kansas. Kansas, like my championship game was Michigan State and Kansas. They were the best two teams in the entire tournament, my eyes. Now, I still believe that, but that's what's great about this tournament is you never know. You never know what's going to happen. That's why they call it March Madness, because you pull your hair out and you go crazy. You get a bunch of upsets, especially in the first two rounds. What you saw this year was one of the, not just with the upsets, but with all the great games you're seeing. Coming down to the wire, the buzzer beaters, the overtimes. It is absolutely insane, and I've enjoyed every second of it, and I hope you have too, because this has been a great tournament so far. But yeah, Villanova beats Kansas. And now, in my opinion, Villanova-Oklahoma is the championship game. Obviously, it's not. I don't want anybody to get confused that maybe isn't following it and maybe just – there's 4 teams left. The winner of Villanova-Oklahoma will go on to face the winner of North Carolina and Syracuse for the championship. But I'm saying that Villanova and Oklahoma, whoever wins that game, will beat – well, let me retract that, because I actually think North Carolina matches up pretty good with Oklahoma. But I believe if Villanova continues to play the defense like they're playing and shooting the ball as well as they are, they beat Oklahoma. Neither North Carolina or Syracuse will have a chance to beat Villanova. But as we saw last year and the year before that, when you live by the perimeter shooting, when you live by the guard play, you die by it too. When your shots aren't falling, because Villanova doesn't have a plan B. I mean, the only thing they're doing better this year than they did last year is they're playing lights-out defense. Ask Miami. They shut Miami and Villanova actually match up very well, and Villanova shut Miami down defensively, and that was the big difference. And they blew them out like 90. Now, without looking at it, I think it was like 92-68, something along them lines, 98-62, something like that. And that was the thing. They D'd up on them. They crunched down on them, and they were hitting their shots. They go in and they beat Kansas. Now they got Oklahoma, who, again, it's Buddy Hield, who is playing lights out. I cannot explain enough how impressive it is, but also how it's almost like with LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have a bunch of good, decent players around him, but Golden State, when they put Andre Iguodala, it took them 3 or 4 games to do it, but once they put Andre Iguodala on LeBron James, no, he didn't shut him down. You're not going to shut him down. You're not going to shut down Buddy Hield, but you're going to be able to limit you're not going to let him score 37. You're not going to let LeBron James score 50. You put somebody on him and you let LeBron James score 30, 35. You win the game. It's that simple. You don't let Buddy Hield score 37. You let him get 20. You let him get 25. You win the game. Because if the rest of the team is only outscoring Buddy Hield by 6 points, and he only gets 20, 25, it means the rest of the team's only going to get 30, 35. They're only scoring 50, 60 points. You win the game. Now, that's as simple as me just breaking it down mathematically. It's not as simple as that to shut down a player like Buddy Hield. So it's going to be a little more, but they're going to have to, but they're playing the defense to do it. Now, granted, they're not going to they don't have the size necessarily to just D him up, but they're playing good enough zone. They're playing good enough where they're going to be able to double, triple team real quick, and then they're fast enough to get back to their man. So they're playing good defense for it. So they have a very good shot at containing, not stopping, containing Buddy Hield. So I do like Villanova to win the game. And if I'm correct and they win that game, they will win the championship and cut down the nets in Houston. Now on to the North Carolina-Syracuse game. I think this game is as simple as North Carolina wins. They're the better team. Syracuse, I don't want to take anything away from Syracuse. Syracuse won the game. They beat they are a 10 seed that made their way all the way to the Final Four. That cannot be downplayed. That is a very good feat, but North Carolina is a much better team than Syracuse. Virginia gave Syracuse that win because of bad basketball play. It was horrible basketball play. It's that simple. So I'm not trying to take anything away from Syracuse. Syracuse played. They still had to make the shots. They still had to play the ball, even because Virginia was up by 10 or 12 with 6 minutes to go, and Syracuse still had to hit their shots to come back. So I'm not trying to take anything away from them. I'm just saying that North Carolina is a better team. North Carolina wins. It's fairly that simple. So if I'm correct, you have Villanova against North Carolina, which still I think will be a very competitive game. But if Villanova is playing the ball that they are still playing, if their shots are falling, North Carolina is not going to have an answer. First half will be pretty good. Second half, Villanova will pull away. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout, but I think Villanova could win by 10, 15 points. But again, they have to get by Buddy Hield and Oklahoma Sooners first. So that's my breakdown of the Final Four. I'd love to hear what you think. Love to read your comments. Again, I apologize that it didn't work out to where I was live on Facebook. I would have loved to interact with you at live, but maybe we'll be able to do that here in the future. But interact with me through the comments. Please share this video, and don't forget to check out the JTC website. We have a new website. It's jtconthemove.org. Just how it sounds. jtconthemove.org. Check it out. Check out all the mentoring, outreach stuff. I'm here on the East Coast. If you're watching this from Pennsylvania, from New York, from Delaware, wherever, contact us if you have anything in your schools. You have camps. You have anything that needs. If you need any kind of mentoring, outreaching, any kind of stuff, we're all about service. If you need somebody to help you with something, anything, even if you don't know if we just ask. It's all about service. It's all about service. We have zero motives. It's all about the service. So check out the website. Hit me up. Hit E. Wilson up. Hit Chris Daughtry up. Howard Mills. We got Algernon out there in Kansas. We are all over the place. We can be to you in just a couple quick moments. So once again, jtconthemove.org. Check that out. Look us up on Facebook. Look me up on Facebook, JTC Sports Talk with a Faith Twist. Also Jimmy Britt. Tweet me at Jim Britt Sports. And check out my YouTube channel. I ask that you subscribe it, share it, let everybody know about it, because we're going to blow this spot up. Help your boy get up there, and let's get this thing popping. And once again, always remember, if you're going to have a conversation, make it a good one. Deuces.